Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live today. Hi, my name is Crystal. I will be your host for today. I'm very excited to have this fireside chat with you. We have so many amazing speakers, and actually, I have the honor of introducing our keynote speaker today, and I am so excited. You guys, she is an icon. Okay, it's an honor to introduce Melinda Lee, who is the president of Stage 10 Media Network. She has brought innovation and radical media strategies such as to Meredith, hers, Viacom, Getty Images, and was formerly the first chief content officer at BuzzFeed. She is an AAPI icon. I mean, she's just an an icon. Let's welcome her to the stage, Melinda Lee. Hello.
Hello. Hey, Crystal. Thank you so much for having me. And I actually really like Akon. Asian. And then we'll have to figure out the COM part, but I love it. I love it.
Akon. That's what we're gonna go with Akon.
And I'm Asian.
Exactly. We just you coined a new term.
You did actually. I just paid attention.
Well, I'm so excited to have you here. First, I wanted to ask you, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, all things considered?
I'm doing good. I did hear that it's hailing out there. Is it hailing outside your window right now?
I would say that it qualifies as hail. There's a lot going on with all of this global warming stuff on top of everything else. But it's hailing. So I'm ready to chat.
Awesome. Well, I know it's a real treat to sit with you today, and I wanted to kind of talk to you. I know you had a lot of twists and turns in your career, and maybe this is kind of like I wanted to ask you this because I was just wondering why you chose media, because you could have literally done anything else and been equally successful in your career, the icon that you are. Why media? Why here?
I mean, I would say it's a little bit of both. I chose media, but in a way, I feel like it chose me as well. I first started my career as an attorney, but I always loved music and TV and movies, and just anytime some great content came on, I paid attention. And even though I went to law school, I found myself, looking and taking steps towards areas that ultimately brought me into media, and where I am today. I started first in law, and then my background was licensing. So I got a really good foundation when it came to content. And then from there, I started to work, on the creative side, on the strategy side. I tried all different aspects in content and in media. And honestly, I like all of it. I love the business of content, and I love the media business. And every step that I took, even though it felt winding and pivoty and whatever, it all led me to where I am today. And I just, I love media overall.
You brought up a good point about pivoting. And I know you've had a lot of different pivots in your life. I know that there was maybe even a pivot that you could have made into the FBI. I don't know if that's a rumor. I don't know if it's a rumor, but I did hear that somewhere. So I wanted to, for the young people that are watching, people who are just starting their career in media, I wanted to kind of ask you about your experience and kind of like, how did you make those pivots? How did you know that was the right move at that time? And what would you say to the people that are watching, like, if you had to give them some advice?
So I will confirm that the FBI pivot is simply a rumor. I I started early in my life in martial arts, and when I went to law school, when you graduate, usually there's those job fairs, and the FBI. They were one of the organizations, and they just took a lot of interest in my background. And I thought, oh, they want me to be an attorney for the FBI. Maybe I'll consider that. And they saw the martial arts training. And somehow the legal degree was something that they were interested in as well, but they saw me as a field agent. And I just wasn't ready for the field at that point in my career. So, I mean, this kind of brings me to the point, and back to your question. I think many times you don't really know. I think that a lot of figuring out what you want to do in life is self-discovery. I think self-assessment is super important, and it's a commitment that you should make to yourself and also to those around you as well, if we want to be holistic. But sometimes the answer is really figuring out the things that you're pretty sure that you don't want to do, and then having a whole bucket of things that perhaps you may want to try, and thinking about why. And then talking to people, being informed. And then at that point, you might have already made a decision. And then maybe you want to take a step away from that, or for what, in a way where it may feel like you're just totally pivoting. It doesn't make sense at all. But I can tell you that when you start to look back at your decisions, if you really gave it a lot of thought and you really think that you're moving in a direction where you think you want to go, and there's that curiosity, it's never the wrong move. It leads you to where you're supposed to be. And I would say that's what I did in my career.
That's really inspiring, because I think, like you're saying, like a step towards this direction, and the direction you want to go is, even if it's like a different job, or maybe you're starting from the beginning, it's still the right step forward, right? Like
Totally.
And
It's,
that's awesome.
I mean, you may not know where you're going to end up, so you don't really know if it may feel like, oh, I'm pivoting, and somehow I think there's a connotation there that it's like, oh, I'm totally switching directions. Right. And in the end, you're just getting more experience. You're meeting more people. So long as you treat the people that are on that journey with you with respect, and if it's your career path, doing what you were hired to do, and doing your best, and being honest with those around you, and having mutual respect for one another, you end up meeting amazing people. And then even if you move away from, say, that one role, you end up having these wonderful relationships that eventually, you might end up working again with them one day. Time is an interesting thing. And once you've had enough time under your belt, you start to realize, oh, it totally makes sense now. And at the time, I was just so worried. I felt like everything, was like this or that, and I don't want to be wrong. And the fact is, it's like a lot of folks that I talk to, they struggle because they don't want to make the wrong decision. Right. And when I'm outside of it, because it's not me, I just sit there and I'm like, wow, they really can't make the wrong decision. They just need to make a decision, and it needs to be what aligns with what's inside and with where they want to go.
That's awesome. It's really, really interesting you hear say these things, because I know you also had the option to go to the Olympics or like train for it. So it's just like you've had so many pivots in your life, and like I feel really honored to like have met you in this path, right? Because I could have never met you. Like and I think that's just it's awesome. We met.
You too. You came from politics, and now you're in media, and you're this, badass streamer, and and it's amazing, right? And we've crossed paths, and I think that's all I can hope for, is to come across some amazing women who are following their hearts, are self-reflective and going for it.
Right. And I kind of like, I wanted to ask one more question. I know I could talk to you all day, but maybe a little bit packed question too, as an AAPI leader in media. I know that with all your different pivots and everything that you've accomplished, like there must have been adversities somewhere along the way. I'm wondering, like, what were those adversities that you faced, and how did you deal with them at that time?
Well, I'm going to have to, I mean, since this is an amazing AAPI panel that you put together, you know, and in the spirit of this, I'm going to be really frank. I mean,
Yeah.
I followed a path that is typical, I think, of a model, you know, a model minority. And so I worked really, really hard. I would say that, you know, being part of an underrepresented group, I had to work harder than, you know, my other peers who were part of the privileged, you know, class. And that was expected of me. You know, it was a conditional model minority on top of it. So I started moving up through the ranks. I felt as if I had to work twice as hard, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then on top of it all, there was an expectation that I worked
Mm-hmm.
twice as hard, and that's the conditional part of it.
Right.
Which, in a way, I ended up taking on all the work that nobody wanted to do, which really did benefit me, especially because that's what brought me into digital media, into new media. It helped me just feel confident in my problem solving skills because
Yeah.
there was no precedence. So it really fine tuned a lot of things. But, you know, being a conditional model minority is tough because that's an expectation that you work twice as hard, so long as you
Absolutely.
prop up, you know, what the system hierarchy is in place. But then
Right.
on top of it all, there was, you know, then there would be, you know, calls of tokenism, which
Yeah.
is bananas if you really think about it,
Yeah.
because it's like, wait, you know, I had to work this hard to get to where I am, and then you're also saying I only got there because I'm Asian or I'm a person of color, right?
Right.
And when you really think about that, it shows how busted the system is
Yeah.
in a way. I have a lot of stories of that, but I also have some amazing stories. I would say that for all of my relevant opportunities, they were all the people who took chances on me were either women, people of color, or LGBTQ every single time, right? And I'm so grateful
Mm-hmm.
for that, because these are also my mentors as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, as I've started to, you know, be in more visible roles or been in positions where I've been able to affect things, where, you know, you have the power to be able to lead. I've always believed in empowering as well. You know,
Right.
as you rise, you lift as you go. And in order to be able to help fix this busted system, you know, it is about starting to putting people of color, you know, in executive positions and letting them do their thing, and bringing up others who are also underrepresented, you know.
Yeah.
I think that that's really key.
Yeah.
And you know, empathy is like so important these days as far as managing and leading. And many times, you know, it's hard to have empathy if you haven't gone through it. It doesn't mean that you can't. Allies
Right.
are so fundamentally important for,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people of color. Um, but to have that empathy, to be able to understand what people are going through, and then being able to set up a system so that people can succeed. You know, it's not just about equality, it's about the equity piece of it. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you've gone through it, you know, you get it, and
Mm-hmm. Right.
you can help set up those systems so that other folks who are starting to also rise and be in management positions or leadership positions, you know,
Right.
can be set up to succeed. So I think that
Um,
that's super important.
yeah, and I know I said that was my last question, but I do have one
Okay.
follow-up question to that. Because I think this is so important. I was gonna ask you actually a different question about stage 10, but I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you about just media strategy in general. As a leader in the media industry, do you feel like, you know, having equity and like, you know, equitable hiring process, those kind of things are possible in tech industries because it is really fast and it's very different, set up very different than many places and many industries. Like what is your like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I think what you're saying is absolutely true. I think that there's acknowledgement that there are unequal hiring practices, but it's not because there is no availability of talent from
Right.
underrepresented groups. I think that they are there. We just have to search a little bit harder to find them because maybe the dots aren't connecting where they can readily apply for roles in tech. But
Right.
I've been in companies where we've been very active and we've gone to conferences specifically to recruit. If they aren't coming to you, the resume is not popping on your desk, that I don't think that that's enough to say, okay, the candidate pool isn't representative, therefore I'm just going to hire someone that looks like me. I
Right.
think that it's an obligation to go out there and try and find where the candidate pool is, and
Mm-hmm.
it is possible. And then once you hire folks, then the trick is, now how do we set this up where where
Right.
we're going to be able to really benefit from this diverse candidate's strengths.
Right.
So a lot has to be done. It's more than just hiring. It's about actually setting up the systems where it will help with the diversity and the strengths that they bring to the table, help them shine. And in the
Right.
end, I mean, that's going to help the business overall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's key. We have to do our work to go find them.
That's awesome. It's so refreshing to hear from kind of like a media executive, to hear that these kind of like inspiring words, because I don't think this is often spoken out loud anyways in media, and even if they are, I think there isn't much follow through. And I think because I work at this company, I kind of see these changes and see like the implementation. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
being a leader in this. I just wanted to see if you have any last wise words of wisdom do you want to leave us with. You've left us with so much, but if you have any more.
I mean, I just wanted to thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this. I think what you're doing is great. This is a really powerful group of AAPI leaders that you've put together, and I love the format that we're doing it in, because I think that it's so authentic. And it's, I can kind of feel the genuineness, the goodness
Yeah.
coming out, because we're not editing. This is live, and we're getting to actually interact with folks who are giving us their time and watching
Right.
us and listening. So I'm really happy to be a part of this, so thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I know I see the chat like going off right now and just like affirming everything you're saying. And it's just really, really nice to see. But
I
yeah,
feel the
thank
energy. I
you.
feel the energy.
You
Live,
feel
live
it. We
stream.
feel it. Live streaming is where it's at, you guys.
I'm glad to be on the journey with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Melinda. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Well, you heard it here, folks. We are here live. As you guys know, we're on the Stage 10 platform. We're actually on the Rosie platform. So we're going to have actually a very special segment. For this player specifically, you can actually shop right here, right now. And I'm going to bring up actually someone really, really special. Her name is Joyce. Joyce, sorry, from Blushin Gifts, and she actually put together a group of AAPI small businesses and created a box to help fight racism against AAPI folks. And so I want to bring her on to talk a little bit more about her initiative and what she's doing. If we can welcome Joyce onto the stage. You guys can just email in the chat. If you guys have also more questions from Melinda, because I know that we can probably talk forever to Melinda. She has so much like knowledge she can give us. I know we have a lot of time, you guys. But yes, let's bring Joyce onto the stage. Joyce, Hello.
Hey, hi, how are
How are
you?
you? Great. If you
Good,
want to talk
good.
about your initiative,
Yeah, perfect. So my name is Joyce, and I'm one of the co-founders of Blushin Gifts, which is a full-service curated gift box company. And you're probably wondering, like, what does that even mean, right? So we basically source local products within the community, and we have a line of wonderful gift boxes where people are able to build their own gift box and really pick gifts that really resonate with them and the people that they're gifting it to. And the gift box that we're talking about today is a Stronger Together gift box, which looks like this. And it's really special because to celebrate Asian Heritage Month, we really wanted to partner with Asian-owned small businesses as a special to raise funds and charities for Asian communities that are in need. And when we're talking about this initiative, we really wanted to find a way to really tell people how, during times like this where Asians are really targeted against due to the pandemic, physical attacks, emotional attacks, like we really wanted to use our platform to raise awareness for that and to raise funds to help those people that are in need within our community. And I just wanted to share some of the products that are in here and also highlight some of the partners that we worked with. We worked with small businesses that are Asian owned, and we're so glad that we were able to partner with them. So from Blushing Gifts, we have our Infinity gift box, which is a clear top gift box with a bow, as well as our personalized candles, which is really popular in like our bridesmaid proposal series. Another item that we have on here is the Spread Love, Not Hate stickers by Small Stuff Co., which is also a Toronto-based small business owned by Asians. And then another product here is the Boba pin, which is by Just CMY. She does cards, pins, and they're all made by her and hand drawn by her. Handmade coasters from Shop by Lasagna, beautiful coasters. One of my favorites sugar cookies is by Burberry Jam. She made these adorable boba and dumpling cookies that are also available in this gift box. And last but not least, we do have QCOM, which is a home incense that smells amazing. And all these products are put together by us in order to show in this initiative that we really want to be stronger together as a community, and all these small businesses together, coming together, we can really make a difference even though our platforms are not as big, and we're just a bit smaller. And all the funds and all the sales from this gift box is going to be donated to the Asian Solidarity Fund by Canada Helps. And that charity is really going to be helping a lot of Asian communities. It's part of over 20 registered charities. So the sales and the donations are going to be spread across a lot of initiatives. And for those who know what PNG is, they're also going to be matching donations of up to $400,000. And this initiative is going to go until probably in about 2 weeks until we close this. So I really hope that you can join this initiative. Head to our website to learn more about these products. And this Stronger Together gift box is going to be available for you to purchase throughout this live event. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you can actually purchase it right now. There's a little shop link to this way, right? It's right next to Joyce, actually. So you can click that and you can shop from here. If you're watching from other platforms, it is playrosie.com/AAPI, and you will be brought to this link where you can shop it. And it's just amazing. Also, those boba cookies are so cute.
Aren't they so cute?
Yeah, these are so cute. Okay, I expect this to
Yeah.
be landing in my inbox in about 0.5 seconds. So please and thank you.
I almost don't want to
But
eat it.
right, have you tried it?
Yeah, no, they're really good. They're not too sweet, which is good for me. I'm not that big of a sweets person, but they're
Yeah.
almost too cute to eat.
Yeah, I'm seeing in chat right now, Julisha saying, "Oh my God, it's so cute," and Anj is saying, "This is awesome box." Yeah, I mean, it's really cute. I'm so glad that this exists because, yes, like I said, that I expect this to arrive in my inbox in 0.5 seconds. I think my girlfriend is watching, so I'm expecting her fully to buy this box. We are in the U.S. You do ship to the U.S., correct?
We do ship to the US.
Okay. Good to know.
So you're in luck.
Thank
You're in luck.
you. Yeah, all these
Thank
folks,
you for
like
having me.
all the little pop-ups on the side here that says
Yeah.
thank you, Douglas. I think Sonia, we saw Sonia. Yeah, that's all purchases. So thank you so much for buying the shop and fighting hate crimes against the API community. Joyce, thank you so much. Actually, so we're actually going on to the next segment. And the next segment is going to be a creative fire chat with API creators and kind of maybe even adversity they've come across since they've been creators for a while. Also with Joyce, who's an API business owner, and I think as a API creator, you also kind of have your own business. So I wanted to bring these folks onto the stage. We have Tina from Simply Tea. We have Lena Lemon. She's a cosplay influencer, and she also has a Twitch as well. You guys, I feel like know Simply Tea, but Simply Tea is a YouTube. I'll say YouTube sensation. She's actually a really close friend of mine, so it's weird to be really nice to her. And we have Joyce, who you just met. And so let's bring them all up on stage, and I'll have them properly introduce themselves. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, I'm really excited to have all of us sit down and talk and be on this panel together. It's a little bit formal, which I feel weird about. So let's make it a little weird. So let's start with some introductions. Who are you, Tina?
Apparently we're close friends. I didn't know that. News to me. No, I'm Tina. I do, Snapseed editing tutorials on YouTube, but I also head marketing at Sage 10. So yeah, that is me. And I love boba. Yeah, that's it.
Don't we all?
Yes, like I said, we need those boba cookies right now.
Yes.
Lena Lemon.
Hi.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I've been on social for quite a long time. I guess I love all things anime, Asian entertainment. I also love boba. And my full-time job is I do marketing at Chat Time.
It's awesome. And Joyce, you all met Joyce. So I will not have her reintroduce herself. And you all know me, so you don't need to hear about me once again. I'm seeing in chat right now on just saying no one is as obsessed with boba as Tina. But I don't think that's true. I want to open with this is I don't think that's true, but I feel like we're starting off on a wrong foot here.
It's interesting that Lena works at Chai Time because I have this one favorite drink at Chai Time that I will literally get 3-4 times a week. I am obsessed. Lena can share what drink that is.
I can confirm. She literally messaged me being like, I will hate you if this drink disappears. And I'm like, this isn't on me.
It is definitely 100% on her.
Well, I don't know about. I don't think do we have Chai Time in America? I don't know.
There's a couple, yeah. There's definitely not as many, but there are.
Well, I'll have to check them out. Joey asked, I guess this is a little boba time for a hot second. Joey asked, what drink?
Okay, well, it is the matcha green tea with passion fruit jelly, 30% sugar, less ice. That is the exact
Matcha?
order.
No.
Not matcha. Mango. I said, did I say matcha?
Yeah, you said matcha.
Okay,
for sure.
mango green tea with passion fruit jelly, 30% sugar, less ice. Please write that down. I am doing free promo for chat time right now, so you're welcome, Lena. Yeah, enjoy.
Well,
Enjoy.
Thank you.
What about you, Joyce? Do you have a favorite boba?
I do. I love cocoa. I'm sorry, Lena. Cocoa is my favorite.
Stab straight through the heart.
What's
I'm just being
cocoa?
honest.
Is that another brand?
It's another brand, yeah. It's another brand of boba. And they have this drink called Three Guys, which is like my go-to drink. And yeah, 30% sugar, less ice, just like Tina.
It seems like Bob Loblaw is saying in love with cocoa.
Mhm.
Yikes. What about you, Lena?
What my favorite is? Well, I have to say chat time. Okay. No, but I really like taro. I like taro or like just like milk tea. Like I'm pretty basic.
This is pretty basic. I can confirm.
Okay, I didn't need that confirmation.
We did not all wake up to get attacked. So my favorite, nobody asked, but I'll ask myself, is is actually orange yogurt and with crystal boba. That's my favorite. So I know that orange yogurt is like not really something that everybody likes, but it's actually really good. It's a Korean, yogurt.
First time hearing.
Really? It's like Korean
Yeah.
yogurt type. It's like orange. It's really good. It's really good. Trust. But anyways, we're not here to talk about boba.
No.
Somebody
Tina's about to leave. She's like, "Oh, really?"
Pete Lima says tap water kind of person, says Pete. I don't know about that, Pete. Well, I mean, water's good. Water's good for your skin. We can have a whole segment about K-beauty regimen, but we won't go into that today. Well, thank you all for being here. First of all, I know we did a lot of prep, a lot of tech checks, a lot of things, and I'm glad we're all here sitting down. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about you all as creators, and just to get us started, kind of like, why did you all start creating, and why did you like start your own business? We can start from Lena Lemon.
Why did I start creating? I think the first time I ever like posted on Instagram thinking I wanted to like share with people was because I realized I buy a lot of clothes, and like what's the point if no one sees it? So that's kind of where it started, like where I just wanted to showcase like my fashion, my style. And this was like maybe like 6 years ago-ish, and then from then it just kind of evolved as I grew, and I just do what I've been doing. I just share what I like.
It's awesome. What about you, Tina?
Yeah, same. I think I started about maybe 5 years ago, and I literally just wanted a outlet to share my fashion and beauty tips, and then it eventually turned into travel and lifestyle, and now it's just me doing whatever it is I want. So it has been a journey, but it's been a good journey because I've been able to meet so many people along the way, including Lena, and be able to partner with so many of my favorite brands that I grew up with. So yeah, it's been a journey for sure.
Awesome. What about you, Joyce? What made you start your own business?
I think this might sound a little cliche, but like working in a corporate job, it's not something that I'm really passionate about. And when I was talking to like my best friends and now partners in this business, like we really wanted to create something that we found was lacking in the industry, in the gifting industry. So that's something that we all came together and decided to, really put in our time and our dedication and to make it into something that's really meaningful for us and to our clients.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think it's like it's very interesting when we like first start being like creating your. I mean, even as influencers, you are creating your own business, and having something to feel passionate about is definitely like a plus to being a creator and or a business owner. And kind of I have a question about this, because I wonder if this is only me that feel this, but I struggle just being a creator and also having a full-time job. How do you all do it? We'll go the other way first. I guess we'll go with Joyce first. Joyce, how do you do it?
I think it's something that I'm still currently working on. I think one thing that's really important is just really being able to reflect on your work-life balance, which sometimes I feel like is very non-existent, but you really need to step back and also think about the people that are in your life, right? Like you need to pay attention to them. And then when they're happy, you're happy. When they're not happy, you're not happy, right? So really just take time to just pause and reflect on what you're really doing would help. But it's still something that I'm working on.
What about you, Tina?
Yeah, same. There is not enough hours in a day to do everything that we do with a full-time job and people that have a family and also, have a business and create online and have a full-time job. I have no idea how they do it, but I have learned to kind of just batch create all my content on the weekends. So I don't really need to worry about that during weekdays, and I can kind of focus on my daytime job, and I'll plan out 10, 15 TikToks and I'll film all of them in one go in a couple hours, and that will be kind of my next week or couple of weeks content. So that's kind of how I organize my life. It's just compartmentalize. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I strive for that, but sometimes it's a struggle. What about you, Lena?
Honestly, it's exactly what Tina said. There's not enough hours. You just have to, you learn how to really manage your time properly, or you're just not gonna be able to get anything done. Same thing with content creation. I end up dedicating all of my weekend to that, so then I have content for the week, because during the week I'll be done work at 6-ish, and by then it's already dark. So it's really just being on top of your own schedule and making sure you manage your time.
Yeah, definitely managing time is a key to making sure you can stay on top of your content. I think that's one of the things I struggle with the most, because I'm so tired. On the weekends, I just want to lay down and be a potato, but I can't. You can't do that. And I think from what people see outside, the actual content is not as easy as it looks. It's not as graceful as it looks. It's actually really hard work. So I hope that folks watching this see these creators, follow the creators here, because it is actually a lot of work and effort to put yourself out there. I actually want to ask along those lines, I guess, as an AAPI creator, I think I'll speak for myself, but I grew up with kind of these things that I thought was my weakness that became sort of my superpower, and has helped me, push myself and work over the weekends, things like that. What is kind of your superpower that you deemed a weakness of when you're a kid or growing up? Let's start with Tina now. This time.
Thank you. I would say my weirdness. So anyone that knows me, I'm really weird. And as I have been on this creative journey in the last few years or so, I'm less afraid to show it, and I'm more vocal about it. Even with my brand partnerships, I'm a lot more selective with who I partner with, just based on my values and their values, and brands that allow me to be myself and not kind of the corporate cookie cutter that they want me to be. So yeah, my weirdness.
Yeah. What about you, Joyce? What have you brought into your business that definitely has been a superpower?
I think just not being afraid to make mistakes or do something that people might not like. For example, for a business, right? I think something might be a good idea, but then when we release as a team, people actually don't like it and no one buys it or something like that. But that's just something that we learn as a business owner, is just make mistakes and you learn and you grow from them.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Lena?
I think kind of similar to what Tina was saying, just being unapologetically myself. I think I was especially good at this when I was like super young. You know, when you're at an age where you just don't really care what other people think. And back then, I would like be decked out in like Hello Kitty, you know, like I'd go to school with like a Hello Kitty backpack, like everything's Hello Kitty. And then at like some point of elementary school, when like, you know, when bullying was a thing, and like I definitely felt like I wanted to fit in more, that's when I kind of was like, you know what, maybe I should stay away from that. So I had a phase of where I left that, and then I got back to it where I felt comfortable again to be able to just show what I want and make it clear like what I like and not really give a fuck, excuse my language, about what I like and like what people think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we can cuss on this show. So I mean, it's our show. Like, we can cuss wherever we want.
All right.
But I think, yeah, definitely. I think it's true in that like you kind of have to be unapologetically yourself and own that superpower in order to thrive as a creator or a business, because your identity and kind of like your vision has to be so clear that it is also very clear for the audience that are watching you, or seeing you or being inspired by you. So, you know, I think everybody could be more unapologetically themselves if they aren't already and they feel like they're out of place. Like, there's a lot of weird people out in the world, and if you need to meet more weird people, here we are. So nice to meet you. I actually have another question, kind of going on along the lines of like us, you know, being creators and businesses, kind of, you know, in this world of like, as of recent, seeing a lot of AAPI hate has been, I'm sure, hard for everyone here, and definitely has been really hard for me. Making that phone call to your parents to say like you can't go out to like, you know, walk your neighborhood anymore is kind of heartbreaking. How do you build partnerships that have kind of the same values as you do? Like, how do you find that out, and how do you have, I guess, responsible partnerships from both businesses and as a creator? Like, how do you find that out? I would love to hear your tips on that. We can start with Lena this time.
Sure. I think especially during now with the whole anti-Asian hate and then with the BLM, I think as someone with a platform and with a decent number of people looking up to me, I think it is my responsibility to look into brands. Like, I may not have known, like last year, I'll admit, I might not have known some brands and like what they've done, maybe like unethically, but I think that's something that I've really been keeping in mind lately. Like, I'll make sure that the brand itself has values that I align with, and that the ones that I work with are ones that I actually believe in and support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What about you, Tina?
Yeah, I agree. I think that with all of us having full-time jobs, we have the luxury of being more selective with the brands that we work with because we're not relying on creating as our sole income. So that is a good thing. And it allows, just in the past year or so, like I've been a lot more selective with the brands that I've been working with and looking into like what their social feed looks like. Is it diverse? What does their team look like? What are their values? Like, where are they putting their money? So I agree with Lena. It's kind of our responsibility to do that research beforehand, before we say yes to a brand, and making sure that it aligns with what we believe in.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Joyce? How do you pick
So
influencers? I'm so curious, actually, from Joyce's perspective, because, yeah, how do you pick your influencers?
I think it's just a lot of research, to be honest, like looking into like the content that they put out and see if like their values and the things that they talk about is in line with what our business strategies are and what our visions and beliefs are. For example, like the Stronger Together box, like we found really great partners that we know we can trust and that they have the same values as us. And that's how we came to create this box.
Yeah. It's awesome. Which, by the way, if y'all have not seen it, it is the box. You can see on the bottom here, there should be a little shop button, and you can shop that box right now. It's a Stronger Together box, as we introduced earlier. I know we're kind of coming to the end, and I'm sure I can like kind of talk to you guys all day. Some of you, I do talk to you guys all day, unfortunately. Just kidding. I just wanted to leave the audience with kind of one thing is I wanted to know kind of your biggest challenge as an API creator or business and how you have worked to face them or to solve them. Because I think right now a lot of people are going through that. And, I think sharing our experiences will definitely help me not feel alone, but I think other folks out there as well. Let's start with Joyce.
I think just having like a really good support system. Like I'm really blessed to have 3 other partners that are also my best friends. And obviously times get tough, but I have them there with me to, share our like sadness and like talk about things that really bother us. So I think having a really good support system is really helpful for your mental health and just in general.
Yeah, for sure. What about you? Lena? The question is how I'm just seeing in the back folks saying like, what was the question? This is the joy of live, you guys. This is the joy. This is the joy of live. I mean, I guess this is what the live is about. Okay.
And do you see my typos too? I'm just like, I'm trying not to look. I'm like,
yes. Yeah, it's there you go. How do you deal with have you had backlash in your own following community when you speak out about social justice issues, and have you dealt with that sort of negative feedback? That's a great question. Thank you, Melinda, from before. But also,
so that wasn't the question.
No, but that's a good follow-up question. I think our question was, what is your biggest challenges as an API creator? How have you faced it, and how have you dealt with it? But I think that is something, definitely having backlash in your own following community, those things are something you can touch on. So I definitely felt it and seen it.
For sure, I felt it. Like, I do want to try my best to stay educated and share, whether it be news articles or just like spreading the word in terms of like anti-Asian hate and other social causes. But obviously, when you speak up on these, I guess, like political issues, you are gonna get backlash, and you just have to learn to just ignore the ones that are just so ignorant. There will always be people in the world are just beyond ignorant, and there's nothing you can do to really change that. But I guess what I want to do is to be able to shed light on things that people are willing to learn, or maybe people who aren't really sure about it, and looking at my stories, like help them to learn about it. But
for sure. And I think what you said earlier about as an influencer, it being your responsibility to speak up about these things are very important. It is our responsibility, whether you have 1,000 or 50 million followers, your responsibility for those people who are watching you, and possibly like a lot of young people, to kind of share the message of justice, right? What about you, Tina?
Yeah, so I've definitely been more vocal this year versus before. And I think one of the things that I struggle with is finding a balance between, posting content that you're used to posting and then posting content around issues that you're passionate about. So of course it's going to be backlash. No one is ever going to agree with you 100%. Everyone has their own perspective, but I think it's good to also welcome those perspectives and not just be biased with or surround yourself with people that think and agree with you, because that way we're never going to grow and we're never going to learn. So if if I do get hate comments or if I do get negative feedback, I often do address it to a certain point, and make sure that it is a constructive conversation and not so much an argument, because I do think that's also important when we're sharing some of these perspectives around issues that can be, what's that word?
Controversial?
Controversial. Thank you, Lena.
We're losing words.
Losing
Yeah, I
words.
think I think definitely when I do feel like when folks are like, you know, having kind of trying to be constructive sometimes it can when it does go the other way and it's like, ooh, I meant that to be constructive, but it seems like this is like a little bit more combative. I try to give resources of like readings and stuff that how to be an ally, because I think as much as I would love to tell the whole world about justice and peace and be the Sailor Moon of AAPI community. Like, as much as, girl, I'm tired. And so I like to give these resources to say like, hey, like you can read up on these things. And afterwards, I would love to discuss with you if you still want to discuss. Because I think it is also not our job to explain and to teach and to kind of also protect our own mental health as well as AAPI creators, right? I think is important. And I guess to top it off, like what are your favorite AAPI owned brands and businesses that you support? And I'm watching. We're all in the same chat, just remember.
Well,
But what are
obviously Blushin gifts.
shop it here, everybody. Oh, it's right there. There's that shop button right here. It's actually right next to me. It's right in this corner. So if you don't see it, come to playrosie.com/AAPI if you haven't already. But yeah, what are your favorite brands and businesses? You go first since you have started, Tina.
Aside from Blushin Gifts, I live in an area where there's a lot of Asian-owned restaurants. So I have a lot of, like, if you're in the Toronto area, like if you love Vietnamese food or you're craving Vietnamese food, like An Dao is amazing and it's one of my go-to spots for Vietnamese food. A lot of bubble tea places are Asian owned. I'm literally just thinking about food right now because it's close to dinner time. So maybe just just pan to someone else, please. unless you want a long list of food recommendations.
What about you, Lena?
Honestly, same with the food. There's a lot of amazing Asian-owned restaurants here. I think I'm also biased towards like local, like Japanese restaurants, because I am Japanese Chinese. In terms of like non-food related, I really like Glow Recipe, the skincare brand. I'm like pretty certain they're Asian-owned. Oh my god, I can't think on the top of my head. I keep thinking of like skincare. Like Tatcha is also Asian.
Yeah, Tatcha's a good one as well. That's and they created an Animal Crossing island, and they're like, I think last year's launch, so it was amazing. If you haven't been to Tatcha's island, go to the island. What about you? What about you, Joyce?
So many food options. I live in Toronto too, so there's like ramen, bubble tea, sushi around the area, and I try my best to support these small businesses, especially during these times. Also really like this brand called ESW Beauty that does Korean face masks. I'm pretty sure they're Asian owned, and their masks are really cute, and I love using them.
Yeah, I love skincare brands. I can tell you like 5 million and 2 skincare brands. But I will say there are some local businesses here in Orange County that I really like. Shop Blush Elegance is actually one of them. I want to give them a shout out because I love what they're doing. I love like their aesthetic and feed, and I'm not really like so girly, but I really love the really like girly femme aesthetic that they got going on, and they're literally just a mom and pop shop. And I know that a lot of the small businesses are, so I would say if you can shop small, please do. And yeah, and I just want to thank you guys all for being here today. I know we're kind of at time, and I want to give a little bit more time at the end to talk about the gift, and just talk more about and show more about what's in the box. So if do you guys have anything else you guys want to leave us with before we go into our little shopping segment at the end?
Yeah, so we just recently launched our Father's Day collection. So Father's
Ooh.
Day is coming up. So we have a lot of different themes, like if for golf, coffee, cocktails, like those are some of the things that we think are really relatable and a lot of dads really appreciate. So head over to our website to check out our Father's Day collection. We also have a virtual wedding collection up on our website right now for couples that are doing virtual weddings and they want to send wedding favors via mail to their guests as like a thank you for attending their virtual wedding. And also Stronger Together box, we still have available. So be sure to check it out and the funds will go to a really good cause.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. What about you? Anyone else who, I was going to say Tina, but anyone else, Lena Lemon or Tina, do y'all have any closing kind of thoughts you want to leave everybody with that's watching? Because I think we're actually multi-streaming to quite a lot of places right now.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, we kind of talked about this. We touched on this earlier, but just be unapologetically yourself. Be proud of your culture, whatever that is, be proud of it. Don't shy away from it. That's something I think I really am trying to get better and like I learned to get better at over the years. But yeah, it would just be nice. I mean, there's just so many cultures out there. We don't have to be some cookie cutter. We don't have to all fit into one society. I think if we all learn to try and embrace and share our own culture.
Absolutely. There is a little bit of a Team Lena going on in my Twitch chat. So I'm gonna have to tell them to calm down for like 5 seconds. Tina, what about you?
Wait, what about Team Tina? I thought your fans, your subs were.
I don't know.
Okay.
They went the other way. You got replaced.
Wow, that was quick. No, I would say, yeah, with Lena, like I was ashamed, with my culture growing up. So I would say, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Like, be weird, be yourself. And it's good for us. I'm glad that we did this because it's good that we're vocal about these things, and the more vocal we are about it, the more we can normalize having these conversations. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you all so much for being here. I know we got a few minutes left here. And I just wanted to kind of highlight the box again here on the left-hand side or the right-hand. Is this my left hand? It's my right-hand side right here. I just wanted to kind of highlight that. If you guys haven't had a chance to kind of shop it, please do right now. And I think we'll probably be closing up here. If you guys have any other questions in chat, please put them up, and you can kind of give us questions at playrosie.com/AAPI if you have any. But yeah, thank you so much. I see everyone saying thank you in chat right now. And I just want to say thank you all for being here. I know there's a lot of different platforms. And so, like I said, if you have not checked out playrosie.com/AAPI, please do. And please make sure to check out the shop button because there's a lot of good things, and fighting hate crimes against AAPI community right now is not only right now, but continually is so important. And I hope that your activism stays alert for not only today or not only for this month, but ongoing, because I think that activism is so important. But Linda says this was amazing. Thank you for hosting. Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you so much for being here. All right, I think that is a great way. We're right at time. I don't want to keep you guys a second later, but thank you so much for being here. This will be available for replay to share to your friends and families on Stage 10's YouTube channel. So feel free to check us out. Come by, and if you want to, you can even check out our platform that we're actually streaming off of right now. And how you can, buy things in this player right here, our interactive player called Rosie. But anyways, thank you so much, and I hope you guys stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys soon.